Hi there, and welcome back to the Lisa Nichols Show, where together you and I share tools, uncover tools that we want, need, and deserve to live the life that we seek, live the life that we know we can have, that we make our dreams our reality. Here's the place where we come and find out, what can I do to become the best version of me ever? So you always know, if you've been here before. If you haven't, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please stay, come back. But you know, if you've come here before, that the first thing I do is I read your comments. The first thing I do is that I comment on your comments. So keep talking to me. On the episode that I did called Focus on What You Can Change, major episode about really energy grows where energy goes. So focus on what you can change versus what you can't change. Christy, you said, quote unquote, this really changed my perception. You said, I suffer from anxiety. I have some much wasted energy in my circle of concern. I love the way you say that. You said, I have some much wasted energy in my circle of concern. I cannot wait to make my list. I want to see and focus more on my circle of influence. I love that, Christy. Can I tell you, I can imagine by the time I'm reading this back to you, life is already looking differently, because you're now looking at life through another set of lenses. So many people spend the majority of their time, as you know, I said, 80% of their time, looking through the lenses of circle of concern, when you should spend 80% of your time in your circle of influence. Just by doing that, you slide out of the passenger seat of your life into the driver's seat of your life, and you begin to focus your energy where you can make a difference. So I love that, Christy. Keep on going, girl, and stay connected. And then in my episode, Release the Past and Shift Your Relationships, I gotta tell you guys, I don't rate my episodes, but this has to be one of the most commented episodes, because relationships is just that thing that we're going to spend so much of our energy around. Whether it's family relationships, they can be time consuming and energy consuming. Our romantic relationships, our friendship relationships, and our work relationships. Noelle, you said, quote unquote, hey Lisa, I'm very thankful for the knowledge you've shared with me and our tribe. You're welcome, sis. I just got the great news that I passed the board exams in my second attempt. Yes, you go, girl. I'm now a licensed agricultural engineer. I love it. Subscribing to your channel is the best decision ever. I love that. I love to hear that. You also said, quote unquote, it helped me to overcome all my anxieties and my fears. I've also been able to forgive myself fully, a feat that I've thought I would not overcome. And most importantly, Lisa, I've never felt so much gratitude in my life, even at the darkest of times. I transform myself into someone that is, my favorite word, girl, unrecognizable. I love it. Noelle says, quote unquote, right now, I am still celebrating this triumph. And you should. Take your time. Keep celebrating. There is still a long way to go ahead, but I know I am on my way and I can make it through, end quote. Yes, you can. What I love about your comment, Noelle, is that it shows that we can take our journey in bite-sized, palatable pieces. Come back here, keep coming here, keep allowing this space, this tribe, this community to literally put the armor of possibility on you, the armor of determination on you, the armor of perseverance on you, and the armor of forgiveness, the armor of second chance, the armor of being willing to press reset. Like, keep coming back here, and then come back here to take all your armor off. Just breathe. And when you breathe, we'll breathe with you. You know, forgiveness is such a deep emotion that's complex. It's emotion filled with hope. It's emotion filled with pain. The concept of forgiveness only is relevant when someone's been betrayed or when someone's been hurt. So when you find yourself in a position where you've been betrayed, you've been hurt, you haven't been honored or loved the way you deserve to be loved and honored, forgiveness many times feels like it's optional. It feels like you have a choice. It feels like you get to choose if you want to forgive based on the depth and the magnitude of the action against you or the betrayal. There have been many times in my life that I felt like I had a pass not to forgive because I measured my forgiveness based on what was done to me. And I experienced something over 10 years ago, and I recently experienced it again, that continues to snatch away my choice to forgive. And I'm the kind of woman, I'm the kind of person where I require like a slap in the face, like upside the head kind of aha. My BOLs come knock out, drag, and sometimes, and I need them, and I'm okay with that. And I've asked myself to be served up in big ways. Recently, I was in Johannesburg, South Africa. I had the pleasure of joining some pretty phenomenal individuals in South Africa celebrating Women's Day in South Africa. And some friends of mine came, students who've become friends. They came and they surprised me. They took me on a private tour through Nelson Mandela's foundation. And they showed me all the many things that the public had seen. And then they walked me through a set of doors. They called it the holiest of holy rooms. And they said very few people come here. And they showed me the Outlook calendar that Nelson Mandela documented his blood pressure in 4 times a day. The messages that he wrote about how he wasn't free of sin and how he wasn't free of judgment and how he too was making choices. And I saw this monumental icon in the form of a man making choices. And all of a sudden, all the things that I gave him permission to do to forgive the perceivingly unforgivable, the way when he was released from prison after 27 years of being in prison, how he led the largest forgiveness movement ever. And he led the movement alongside of the guards that guarded him, the guards that killed the sons and the fathers and the brothers of his friends. The guards that would require him to carry around a pail that was his toilet. The guards that insisted that he break limestone every day for 8 hours a day, that caused his tear ducts to be ruined to where he could never look directly into a camera or he could never cry. Those guards, but he was able to find the forgiveness for them so that they can foster in the forgiveness of others. They can help heal the mothers and the daughters who have been violated and betrayed. In that moment, when I walked through the foundation, and in another moment when I walked through his home, and I knelt at his bed, and I saw the shoes that he wore, and I was able to touch an image of his face. In that moment, I realized that he made a choice for the highest good. And in that same moment, I felt my choice to not forgive being snatched away. That forgiveness is not measured on the depth of the betrayal. That imperfection is imperfection. People struggling and hurting are people struggling and hurting. Hurt people hurt. People who feel condemned condemn. He didn't measure the level of the persecution to measure the access to forgiveness. My friends then, after I was given this tour that stilled Margaret and I all through the foundation as I walked around, I kept losing my breath, seeing different things that showed an ordinary man simply choosing to make one more extraordinary decision, whether it be his eyeglasses, whether it be his shoes, whether it be the desk that he last sat at before he retired. All the things that looked so ordinary that made this extraordinary being a man who simply made a powerful choice to forgive. And as a result, he went on to lead a nation as their president. I walked out of the foundation into the back of my friend's car, only to be greeted with this picture as a gift. And I stood at the back of their car and I cried at the opportunity to hang such a blessing and a lesson wrapped in a man's skin and beautiful picture in my office to remind me that forgiveness is not an option. While it shows up in the space of choice, that if you ever want to step into the greatest version of you, you have to be willing to walk through the door called forgiveness without measuring the act of hurt or betrayal. One of my greatest lessons today. I brought home this necklace because I wanted to constantly remind myself as I wrap my arms around you and others, I wanted something to wrap around my neck. I'm passing this on to my son, Jaylani. Actually, when I purchased it for him. But I wanted to wear it for a moment so that some of the energy and the spirit of forgiveness and the awareness that when he wears it, because he's young, he's in his 20s, and he's going to go through a beautiful life full of a lot of love and some betrayal, that he recognizes the blessing that lives inside of forgiveness. Remember, this show is not just a monologue. It's not just a one-way conversation. This is a dialogue. We're family. We're community. We're here to hear from each other. I'd love to hear from you. I know how the journey of discovering and reinvesting and remembering what forgiveness is like and the opportunity for me, how it's impacted me. I want to know, how has it impacted you? How did this conversation impact you? What's the biggest lesson that you learned from just this episode? Please leave your comments below. Talk to me. Let me hear what's going on for you. And be sure, if you haven't already done so, to subscribe and invite your community to come here so we can all grow together. Let's all access more amazing content and experiences as one great big community. After all, this is your home, and we are your tribe. And I am your sister in prosperity and in possibility. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over and over again. I believe in you and I love you. Why? Because I do. I'll see you soon.